इसलिए मैं जो कहता हूं वो करके दिखाता हूं। इसलिए मेरी गारंटी में दम होता है और ये मैं सिर्फ हवा में नहीं कह रहा हूं, बल्कि बीते 9 वर्ष का मेरा पूरा ट्रैक रिकॉर्ड यही है। वहां मेरा आप सबसे प्रार्थना है, अब पेंडोल में कहीं जगह नहीं है, कृपा करके वहीं रुक जाइए। आप जहां हैं वहीं रुकिए। मैं आपके प्यार के लिए आपका बहुत बहुत आभारी हूं। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद आपका। मेरे परिवारजनों, आप याद कीजिए, हमारी सरकार ने 1 रैंक 1 पेंशन लागू करने की गारंटी देश के पूर्व सैनिकों को दी थी। आप देख रहे हैं, मोदी ने वो गारंटी पूरी कर दी। अब तक सैनिकों को जो निवृत्त है 1 रैंक 1 पेंशन के 70,000 करोड़ रुपए मिल चुके हैं। अब आप कल्पना करिए, कांग्रेस जब सरकार में थी तब उन्होंने 500 करोड़ रुपए की पोटली बनाकर वो झूठ बोलती थी कि वो 1 रैंक 1 पेंशन लागू करेगी। कहां 500 करोड़ और कहां 70,000 करोड़। ये भाजपा सरकार है जिसने 70,000 करोड़ रुपए देकर 1 रैंक 1 पेंशन को लागू किया है। साथियों, जब नीयत साफ होती है, जब खुद पर भरोसा होता है, तो गारंटी पूरी करना सरकार की पहचान बन जाती है। हमने भ्रष्टाचारियों के विरुद्ध कड़ी कार्रवाई की गारंटी दी थी। आज देश के भ्रष्टाचारियों पर कानून का जो डंडा चल रहा है वो सब देख रहे हैं। आप मुझे बताइए, भ्रष्टाचारियों पर कदम उठाने चाहिए कि नहीं उठाने चाहिए? कड़ी कार्रवाई करनी चाहिए कि नहीं करनी चाहिए? इस देश से भ्रष्टाचार को खत्म करना चाहिए कि नहीं करना चाहिए? साथियों, 3 तलाक के चलते मुस्लिम बहनों के साथ अन्याय कई पीढ़ियों से हो रहा था। उम्मीद की कोई किरण नहीं दिखती थी, लेकिन हर बहन के आंसू पहुंचने की इच्छा शक्ति के कारण हम 3 तलाक के खिलाफ कानून लाए। इस कानून से लाखों बहनों को न्याय मिला है। मेरे परिवारजनों, कांग्रेस की कभी नीयत नहीं थी कि वो देश की महिलाओं को सशक्त करें। जो कांग्रेसी आज महिला आरक्षण की बातें कर रहे हैं, ये काम वो 30 साल पहले कर सकते थे। जब जब मौका मिला तब कर सकते थे। लेकिन सच्चाई ये है कि कांग्रेसी कभी चाहते ही नहीं थे कि महिलाओं को 33% आरक्षण मिले। आज भी अगर ये नारी शक्ति बंधन अधिनियम के समर्थन में आए हैं तो मन से नहीं आए, बल्कि ये आप सभी बहनों के दबाव के परिणाम सीधी लाइन में आए हैं। और इसलिए मेरी माताओं बहनों, आपको याद रखना है, मेरी हर बहन बेटी को याद रखना है, कांग्रेस और उसके घमंडिया साथी महिला आरक्षण के घोर विरोधी है। नारी को सशक्त करने के इतने बड़े फैसले को भी वो भटकाने में लगे हैं। जिन्होंने यूपीए सरकार के दौरान ये बिल रोका था, कांग्रेस के वही साथी उस पर अभी भी दबाव बना रहे हैं। इसलिए राजस्थान की बहनों को, देश की बहनों को बहुत सतर्क रहना है। मेरे परिवारजनों, राजस्थान तो गौरवशाली इतिहास और परंपराओं की भूमि है। यहां के कण कण में गौरव गाथाएं हैं। महाराणा प्रताप, महाराजा सूरजमल से लेकर राणा सांगा, राणा कुंभा तक, वीर दुर्गादास राठौर से लेकर गोविंद गुरु तक, मीराबाई, पन्ना धाय, रानी पद्मिनी से लेकर अमृता देवी, कालीबाई, कनबाबाई तक, ऐसे अनेक संतानों ने एक महान सनातन धरोहर हमारे लिए छोड़ी है। लेकिन कांग्रेस और उसके घमंडिया गठबंधन ने इस धरोहर के विरोध हल्ला बोल शुरू कर दिया है। इन्होंने घोषणा की है कि ये सनातन को जड़ से मिटा देंगे, हमारी पहचान को मिटा देंगे। कुछ वोटों के लिए तुष्टीकरण की पराकाष्ठा को राजस्थान का समाज अच्छे से समझ रहा है। और मैं जानता हूं, राजस्थान चुनाव में ही नहीं बल्कि आने वाले हर चुनाव में घमंडिया गठबंधन को इसका नुकसान उठाना ही पड़ेगा। वो जड़ों से उखड़ जाएंगे। मेरे परिवारजनों, राजस्थान के हर क्षेत्र में कांग्रेस की सरकार के विरुद्ध जनाक्रोश बढ़ता जा रहा है। यहां की कांग्रेस सरकार युवाओं को अवसर नहीं बल्कि सिर्फ धोखा दे सकती है। राजस्थान में जितनी बार पेपर लीक होते हैं, वो हर बार पूरे राज्य को शर्मिंदगी से भर देते हैं। यहां की कांग्रेस सरकार पेपर लीक माफिया को संरक्षण देती है। मैं आज राजस्थान के युवाओं को भरोसा देता हूं, राजस्थान में बीजेपी सरकार बनने के बाद इस पेपर लीक माफिया पर सख्त से सख्त कार्रवाई की जाएगी। युवाओं के भविष्य के खिलवाड़ करने वाले किसी माफिया को बख्शा नहीं जाएगा। साथियों, आज देश के अलग अलग राज्यों में औद्योगिक विकास नई ऊंचाई पर है। राजस्थान में भी निवेश बढ़े, यहां नए कारखाने लगे, नई फैक्ट्रियां लगे, ये बहुत जरूरी है। लेकिन जहां कदम कदम पर करप्शन हो, जहां लाल डायरी में काली करतूतें हो, हर कोई कट और कमीशन में व्यस्त हो, वहां कौन पैसा लगाना चाहेगा, कौन पूंजी निवेश करेगा? जहां सरेआम गला काटने की घटनाएं हो और सरकार मजबूर हो, ऐसे वातावरण में निवेश कैसे हो सकता है? ये साधारण अपराध नहीं है। ये कांग्रेस की वोट बैंक की तुष्टीकरण की नीति का परिणाम है। जब कांग्रेस सरकार आतंकियों पर कार्रवाई के बजाय उन पर मेहरबान हो, जब कांग्रेस सरकार अपराधियों को खुली छूट दे रही हो, तो फिर कानून का खौफ कैसे रहेगा, किसमें होगा? इसलिए आज राजस्थान की पस्त कानून व्यवस्था की बहुत बड़ी भुक्तभोगी हमारी माताएं, बहनें, बेटियां हैं। जो सरकार बहनों बेटियों को सुरक्षा और सम्मान का जीवन तक नहीं दे सकती, उस सरकार का जाना तय है। मेरे परिवारजनों, राजस्थान की ये भूमि वचन की मर्यादा रखने वाली भूमि है, लेकिन कांग्रेस की आदत झूठ बोलकर भूल जाने की है। राजस्थान के किसानों को तो अच्छे से याद है, कांग्रेस ने 5 साल पहले जो वचन दिया था वो कभी पूरा नहीं किया। कांग्रेस ने किसानों से कई वादे किए थे, उनका क्या हुआ इसका कोई हिसाब नहीं है। आज औने पौने भाव पर किसानों को बाजरा बेचना पड़ रहा है, किसानों को इस स्थिति में ला दिया है। एकमात्र जिम्मेवार है कांग्रेस और गहलोत सरकार जिम्मेवार है। लेकिन मैं किसान भाइयों बहनों को कहूंगा कि अब चिंता की कोई बात नहीं है। किसानों की चिंता करने वाली भाजपा सरकार जल्द ही आने वाली है। साथियों, भाजपा कदम कदम पर किसानों और पशुपालकों के साथ खड़ी है। पीएम किसान सम्मान निधि से हजारों करोड़ रुपए राजस्थान के किसानों को मिल चुके हैं। आप भी जानते हैं कि दुनिया में खाद की कीमतें बहुत अधिक बढ़ गई है। कई देशों में खाद की बोरी 3,000 रुपये तक मिल रही है, लेकिन भारत में भाजपा सरकार वही खाद की बोरी सिर्फ 300 रुपये से भी कम कीमत में उपलब्ध करा रही है। साथियों, भाजपा सरकार ने अपने कारीगरों, अपने शिल्पकारों, हमारे विश्वकर्मा साथियों के लिए एक बहुत बड़ी योजना शुरू की है। कांग्रेस की सरकारों ने कभी इन साथियों की सुध नहीं ली, लेकिन आज हमारे दर्जी भाई बहन, हमारे बाल काटने वाले भाई बहन, जूता बनाने वाले भाई बहन, हमारे कुम्हार भाई बहन, सुनार भाई बहन, लोहार भाई बहन, सुतार भाई बहन, मालाकार, ऐसे अनेक काम से जुड़े साथियों के लिए हम विशेष योजना लेकर आए हैं। इस विश्वकर्मा योजना के तहत इन साथियों को ट्रेनिंग और आधुनिक उपकरण सरकार देगी। यही नहीं, इन्हें लाखों रुपए का कम ब्याज वाला ऋण भी मिलेगा। ये योजना राजस्थान के लाखों विश्वकर्मा परिवारों का जीवन बेहतर बनाने में मददगार सिद्ध होगी। साथियों, मोदी हवाई बातें नहीं करता, क्योंकि मोदी के पांव पूरी मजबूती से जमीन पर ही रहते हैं। इसलिए बीते 9 वर्षों में हमने सामान्य से सामान्य लोगों की छोटी छोटी कठिनाइयों को दूर करने का प्रयास किया। एक तरफ हम स्वनिधि योजना से रेहड़ी, ठेले, पटरी वालों को मदद दे रहे हैं, वहीं दूसरी तरफ पीएलआई स्कीम के माध्यम से दुनिया भर के उद्योगों को भारत आमंत्रित कर रहे हैं। आज हम मुद्रा योजना से करोड़ों छोटे छोटे उद्यमियों, महिला उद्यमियों, दलित पिछड़े समाज के साथियों को सपोर्ट कर रहे हैं। वहीं दूसरी तरफ खेती से जुड़े उद्योगों, फूड प्रोसेसिंग इंडस्ट्री को भी बढ़ावा दे रहे हैं। हमारा विकास सर्वस्पर्शी भी है, हर वर्ग को लाभ हो रहा है। गरीब कल्याण अन्न योजना से गरीब, एससी, एसटी, ओबीसी सभी को लाभ हुआ है। साथियों, हम वाइब्रेंट विलेज प्रोग्राम की चला रहे हैं। राजस्थान इसका बड़ा लाभार्थी है। राजस्थान के सीमावर्ती गांवों में कांग्रेस ने सुविधाओं का निर्माण नहीं किया। कांग्रेस वाले तो कहते थे कि सीमाओं पर इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर नहीं बनना चाहिए, क्योंकि इससे दुश्मन को अंदर आने का आसानी हो जाएगी। कांग्रेस की इस नीति का हमें बहुत नुकसान हुआ है। लेकिन भाजपा सरकार आज सीमावर्ती गांवों का विकास कर रही है। हमारी सरकार वहां ऐसी सुविधाएं बना रही है जिससे बॉर्डर के किनारे बसे गांवों का भी तेज विकास हो, वहां टूरिज्म के अवसर बढ़े। साथियों, भाजपा सरकार की प्राथमिकता गरीबों का, मध्यम वर्ग का स्वास्थ्य भी है। पिछले 9 वर्षों में देश में मेडिकल कॉलेजों की संख्या लगभग 2 गुनी हो चुकी है। इसका लाभ राजस्थान को भी हुआ है। बीते वर्षों में राजस्थान में अनेक नए मेडिकल कॉलेज खुले हैं। केंद्र की भाजपा सरकार ने देश में 150 से अधिक नए नर्सिंग कॉलेज खोलने का भी निर्णय लिया है। इसमें बहुत सारे कॉलेज राजस्थान के लिए भी स्वीकृत हुए हैं। मेरे प्यारे परिवारजनों, मुफ्त राशन, मुफ्त इलाज, मुफ्त गैस कनेक्शन, ये गरीब परिवारों को, दलित, पिछड़े, आदिवासी परिवारों को गरिमा का जीवन देते हैं। अगर हमने राजस्थान के लाखों गरीब परिवारों को पक्का घर दिया है, तो मध्यम वर्ग के परिवारों को भी घर बनाने के लिए मदद की है। देश भर में मिडिल क्लास परिवारों को ब्याज सब्सिडी के रूप में करीब करीब 60,000 करोड़ रुपए की मदद दी गई है। ईश्वर लाल किले से मैंने मध्यम वर्ग के परिवारों के लिए एक और घोषणा भी की है। जो साथी शहरों में किराए पर रहते हैं, वे अगर अपना घर बनाना चाहते हैं तो उन्हें कम ब्याज पर ऋण उपलब्ध कराया जाएगा। आपको याद होगा साल 2014 तक देश में 2 लाख रुपए की इनकम पर टैक्स लग जाता था। आज 7 लाख रुपए तक की इनकम टैक्स फ्री कर दिया गया है। इसका सीधा लाभ हमारे मध्यम वर्गीय परिवारों को हुआ है। हर साल कम से कम 50,000 रुपए की बचत तो इनकम टैक्स से हो रही है। कांग्रेस की सरकार थी तो 3G नेटवर्क का फोन बिल भी भारी भरकम आता था। आज तो 5G चलने लगा है तो मोबाइल फोन रखना ही असंभव था। आज परिवार के करीब करीब हर सदस्य के पास फोन है। ऐसे में 2014 की तुलना में हर परिवार को हर महीने हजारों रुपए की बचत हो रही है। मेरे परिवारजनों, भाजपा राजस्थान को देश के एक प्रमुख औद्योगिक और व्यापारिक केंद्र के रूप में विकसित करने के लिए प्रतिबद्ध है। बीते 9 वर्षों में राजस्थान में हर प्रकार के आधुनिक इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर का विस्तार हुआ है। आज राजस्थान दिल्ली मुंबई इंडस्ट्रियल कॉरिडोर और डेडिकेटेड फ्रेट कॉरिडोर का महत्वपूर्ण हिस्सा है। इस काम को हम बहुत जल्द पूरा करने वाले हैं। मेरे परिवारजनों, ये भारत के लिए अवसरों का समय है। ये राजस्थान के लिए भी अवसरों का समय है। अगर भारत की साख दुनिया में बढ़ रही है तो इसका लाभ राजस्थान को भी मिलता है। राजस्थान में ऐसी सरकार नहीं चाहिए जो इन अवसरों को गंवा दे। आने वाले कुछ सालों में ही भारत दुनिया में टॉप 3 अर्थव्यवस्थाओं में होगा। टॉप 3 अर्थव्यवस्था में होगा, ये मोदी की गारंटी है। लेकिन इसके लिए राजस्थान को भी देश के अग्रणी राज्यों में लाना होगा। ये तभी होगा जब जयपुर में भी कमल खिलेगा, जब राजस्थान में विकास का डबल इंजन लगेगा। इसलिए आपको भारी बहुमत से भाजपा की सरकार बनानी है। मैं भाजपा के हर कार्यकर्ता से कहूंगा कि हमारी पहचान और हमारी शान सिर्फ कमल का फूल है। इसलिए बूथ बूथ पर कमल का फूल खिले, इसके लिए हमें प्रयास करना है। एक बार फिर इतनी बड़ी संख्या में यहां पधारने के लिए मैं हृदय से आपका बहुत बहुत आभार व्यक्त करता हूं। दोनों हाथ ऊपर करके मेरे साथ बोलिए, भारत माता की, भारत माता की, भारत माता की। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
मोदी मोदी हम सभी हमारे माननीय
And in the last few 1 week at least, what Justin Trudeau government has been able to achieve successfully is how to demolish the foreign policy of Canada in a very inadvertent way. Apparently, he has derailed Indo-Pacific strategy of Canada by having a diplomatic row with India on the issue of killing of a terrorist on the Canadian soil, for which he is not sharing enough evidences to the public domain or media, or whenever the Canadian government has said that they have been in touch with the Indian authorities, there has not been any evidence that has been shared to India so far. This is what the diplomats have told us. He has also heard sentiment of Jews by honoring Nazis in the House, and now Poland is asking an apology from Canadian government. and this is how the Canadian foreign policy is coming under attack. And one has to really wonder why Justin Trudeau government has been, not able to do that. Poliver, the opposition leader in Canada, he has also sought an apology from the government, and he said that this does not, get good image for Canada in the international space when a Nazi leader has been honored in the House. He has directly blamed Justin Trudeau government and Prime Minister himself for selecting that person, because he said that the protocol division of Prime Minister is responsible for vetting every single guest, every single person who is going to meet Prime Minister. His background and everything has to be checked, and if that has been allowed by the Prime Minister's protocol office, then the Trudeau himself is responsible for honoring that Nazi veteran in the House of Commons. So this is what Justin Trudeau government's latest problem has become, apart from the domestic issues, political issues, economic mess that he has created in Canada, and foreign policy, complication that Canada has been going ahead with. This is the latest, that a Nazi veteran has been facilitated and honored in the House of Commons by Justin Trudeau government, and he has met him also, and this is become a real political issue with a lot of Jews from around the world seeking an apology from the Justin Trudeau government. Justin Trudeau government is yet another under attack from the opposition members in Canada, because he has hosted a very senior Nazi soldier in the House of Commons. The report says that video and photo shows that Justin Trudeau government was trying to present him as a veteran, as a warrior who had fought against Russians and liberated Ukraine. During the visit of Volodymyr Zelensky, the Ukrainian president, who happened to visit Canada just days before, and during that visit there was a lot of talk about Canadian collaboration to Ukraine on the war against Russia, and they will continue to support Ukrainian side from everything from money to finances to ammunitions and weapons also. There was some financial aids also that were announced during those visits. But what has now captured the attention of the world is how a Nazi veteran could be honored at the house, at the fourth floor of the House of Commons, and this is where the problem has become. Now the world body, the Jewish world bodies have started reacting to this, and they have said that one of them, FSWC, has said that it is appalled that Canada's parliament gave a standing ovation to a Ukrainian veteran who served in a Nazi military unit during the Second World War, implicated in the mass murder of Jews and others. An apology and explanation is owed. The Friends of Simon Wessel Center, a Canadian non-profit dedicated to educating people on the Holocaust, wrote on Twitter, and also the videos and photos which have surfaced says that during Zelensky's visit to the country's parliament, Canadian lawmakers honored Yaroslav Hunka, a 98-year-old Ukrainian immigrant who fought for the 1st Ukrainian Division, and that division was also known as the Waffen-SS Galicia Division, which fought for the Nazis as its parliamentary arm under the Schutzfestel organization, according to the news reports. Now, the Speaker of Canada's House of Commons on Sunday apologized for praising an individual at a parliamentary meeting who served in Nazi unit during World War II. Also, there has been reactions coming in. Now, the Polish ambassador in Canada, he has also said that the leaders in House of Commons cheered a member of Waffen-SS Galician, notorious military formation of World War II, responsible for murdering thousands of Poles and Jews. Best ally will never agree on whitewashing such villains. As Ukrainian ambassador to Canada, as Polish ambassador to Canada, I seek and I expect an apology. So now the Justin Trudeau government has really under pressure. And in the last few 1 week at least, what Justin Trudeau government has been able to achieve successfully is how to demolish the foreign policy of Canada in a very inadvertent way. Apparently, he has derailed Indo-Pacific strategy of Canada by having a diplomatic row with India on the issue of killing of a terrorist on the Canadian soil, for which he is not sharing enough evidences to the public domain or media, or whenever the Canadian government has said that they have been in touch with the Indian authorities, there has not been any evidence that has been shared to India so far. This is what the diplomats have told us. He has also heard sentiment of Jews by honoring Nazis in the house, and now Poland is asking an apology from Canadian government, and this is how the Canadian foreign policy is coming under attack. And one has to really wonder why Justin Trudeau government has been, not able to do that. Poliver, the opposition leader in Canada, he has also sought an apology from the government, and he said that this does not, get good image for Canada in the international space when a Nazi leader has been honored in the house. He has directly blamed Justin Trudeau government and Prime Minister himself for selecting that person, because he said that the protocol division of Prime Minister is responsible for vetting every single guest, every single person who is going to meet Prime Minister. His background and everything has to be checked, and if that has been allowed by the Prime Minister's protocol office, then the Trudeau himself is responsible for honoring that Nazi veteran in the House of Commons. So this is what Justin Trudeau government's latest problem has become, apart from the domestic issues, political issues, economic mess that he has created in Canada, and foreign policy, complication that Canada has been going ahead with. This is the latest, that a Nazi veteran has been facilitated and honored in the House of Commons by Justin Trudeau government, and he has met him also, and this is become a real political issue with a lot of Jews from around the world seeking an apology from the Justin Trudeau government.
National Investigation Agency, in yet another blow to the Khalistani ecosystem outside of the country, has decided to confiscate the properties belonging.
Good evening, hello and welcome. You're watching CNN News 18. This is Nation at 5 with me, Poonam Burde, and we have big breaking news that's coming in from down south. The AIA-DMK has decided to walk out of the NDA, walk out of the alliance with the BJP. This is coming in just months ahead of the 2024 elections. It was a unanimous decision that has been passed by the AIA-DMK. A meeting of the office bearers was chaired by the General Secretary, Mr. Palanisamy, just a short while ago, out of which a unanimous decision has been taken to walk out of the alliance, to sever ties with the BJP ahead of the 2024 Lok Sabha elections. Purnima, my colleague, now joining us, getting us more details. Purnima, we're learning right outside the AIA-DMK office now, celebrations have broken out. It was a unanimous decision, but what exactly are the reasons that have been cited by the AIA-DMK for severing ties with the BJP?
Well, this is not the first time that the ADMK has, in fact, spoken about how they are not okay with the state BJP President Annamalai. In fact, last week the ADMK already said that currently they are not in an alliance with the BJP, and only the ADMK will decide who its alliance partners would be in the run-up to 2024 elections. And today the ADMK held a meeting and all the MLAs and MPs, in fact, were present. And in that meeting, the ADMK decided to in fact cut ties with the BJP, considering that the statements that have been made by the state BJP leader Annamalai against Jayalalitha, against C.N. Annadurai in the latest in the last couple of months, and therefore this hasn't gone down well. They in fact say that they will rather go alone rather than go with an alliance with Annamalai as a state president. They're not okay with that. Therefore, they've unanimously decided to cut ties with the BJP. That's the latest that we are getting. This was announced in the press conference by the AIA-DMK a short while ago.
Right, and there were several back-channel talks that were happening with the AIA-DMK by the national leadership of the BJP as well in the run-up to this decision. There were several concerns that were raised by the AIA-DMK, Purnima, isn't it, with the central leadership of the BJP as well, because they have been very clear that we do not want to deal with Mr. Annamalai, we will deal directly with the national leadership of the BJP. And it seems like the TN BJP chief was perhaps the only sticking point between the two parties, and considering there was no movement on his removal or his reinstatement, the AIA-DMK has decided to move on.
Absolutely. They have always had a problem with the state president Annamalai. In fact, what we are given to understand is that earlier last week, the ADMK met
Case Kovai Satyan now joining us here on this broadcast. So thank you so much for speaking with us here on CNN News 18. We've learnt now that a unanimous decision was passed in the meeting to walk out of the alliance with the BJP. What are the reasons for the AIADMK for doing so?
The reason is well known. The state unit head doesn't seem to maintain the sanctity of the alliance. They talk ill about our rally, which had a record 15 lakh people participation. He talks ill about our founders and leaders. Repeatedly, he is not maintaining the sanctity, going overboard, not going well with the cadres.
So, Mr. Satyan, is it just Mr. Annamalai at the helm of affairs in the state, which seems to be an issue between you and the BJP, or were there other ideological issues as well, concerns that were raised from within party members and office bearers?
We are not ideologically same. We have said this many a times. It is not only with Annamalai. It is the high command of BJP which is failing to take the appropriate action in time. For Alliance Dharma, we passed the resolution condemning Annamalai last time, but there were no concrete actions on him. He is a rabble-rouser and he is going all over and talking and lamenting things which is not good for an alliance. And they need us more than we need them. So I think it's high time we show the place to BJP. Where do they stand in Tamil Nadu?
Sure, Mr. Satyan, because you said that they need you more than you need them, how do you think this is going to impact 2024 elections? Because 2019 wasn't so much of a good year for the AIADMK as well. It was a complete sweep for the DMK.
Right, 2014 we swept the entire state. Tamil Nadu is a swing door policy state. So 2024 AIADMK is all set to rewrite history. If at all BJP falls short of numbers, AIADMK is the only party which can bridge in the numbers in the ally. They doesn't seem to respect it. They doesn't seem to understand the importance of it, particularly the state of BJP.
Sure, Mr. Satya, I request you to stay on with us. DMK's A. Saravanan also joining us here on this broadcast. So thank you so much for speaking with us here on CNN News 18. The AIA, DMK and the BJP now making their differences very, very clear, walking out of the alliance. There are no more partners there. How do you see this development? Is this going to have any impact for the DMK in the Lok Sabha elections next year or in the next state elections?
See, this posturing, all this is with some other motive. I don't think the ADMK can afford to walk out the alliance of the BJP. We can understand only if the ED arrests former ADMK ministers. We can understand that the BJP ADMK alliance is broken. Until then, all are mere posturing and mere words for the sake of saying it. I don't know what is the hidden agenda behind all these things. BJP cannot do away with ADMK. ADMK cannot do away with the BJP. That is the situation. The ADMK ministers, all of them are corrupt. They have tons and tons of money with them, and all the records are with the Income Tax Department, ED and CBI. If they walk out of the alliance of the BJP, they will earn the wrath of the Income Tax Department, the CBI and the Enforcement Directorate. All the ADMK former ministers will be arrested. If that happens, then we can understand, yes, there is a rift between ADMK and BJP. Until then, all these are posturing. Nothing more could be read into this.
Sure, but Mr. Saravanan, you say this is just posturing and there perhaps won't be any action on AIADMK leaders, but some of the ex-ministers are already feeling the heat of the agency. So don't you think that's something that perhaps wouldn't be an issue between the two parties?
Which minister is facing the heat? They have had corruption allegations running due to several hundred crores and 1,000 crores. What action have they taken? What action the ED has taken? Which former minister has been arrested? None. The governor is sitting on the sanction files of all the former ADMK ministers. What does this say? Nothing. So all this is posturing. This is wasting your time and my time.
Sure, Mr. Saravanan. Now, one last question before I let you go. We just had Kovai Satyan of the AIADMK a short while ago with us here on this broadcast, and he said that the BJP needs the AIADMK more than the AIADMK needs the BJP, and it's really not going to impact them come the general elections or the next state elections.
See, it's a symbiotic relationship. Of course, in the state of Tamil Nadu, to get votes, BJP cannot have any votes. So, for getting votes, whatever the higher percentage the BJP is managing to show, that is because of the transference of the ADMK votes. Definitely, ADMK is a bigger party in the state of Tamil Nadu. But if you look at the impact of the central agencies, so the ADMK needs the BJP. So it's a symbiotic relationship. One cannot survive without the other in the present political situation.
Sure. Sure,
Yeah.
Mr. Saravanan, thank you so much for speaking with us here on CNN News 18. It was a unanimous decision that has been passed by the AIADMK to sever ties with the BJP, walk out of the alliance. Mugilan, my colleague, now joining us from on ground in Chennai. Mugilan, we now know that celebrations have already broken out at the AIADMK office. This is exactly what they wanted. And seems like one man was the center of it all. Annamalai, the TN BJP chief, seems to be the only reason why the AIADMK decided to cut ties.
Definitely, we have seen the simmers between both the political parties earlier for few months, and now we have seen the BJP Tamil Nadu State President Annamalai took dig at the ADMK leaders, particularly Dravidian stalwart Annadurai. He even took a dig at ADMK Supremo Jayalalitha. Last was taking dig at EPS, and the ADMK leaders were quite unhappy with that. And we have seen the ADMK leaders trying to get in touch with the BJP High Command about the remarks that was made by Annamalai, and even in the recent issue, that is taking a dig at Aringar Anna, that is Dravidian stalwart, on whose name the ADMK party have started. We have seen Annamalai categorically saying that he has not stated anything beyond the fact, so he will not apologize, even after several people and several medias reporting that the incident has not happened as Annamalai stated in a public meeting. And very importantly, earlier we have seen only last week before, we have seen it was Jai Kumar who said that the alliance between ADMK and BJP comes to an end for now, and it will be decided once the election is announced. But today in the district secretaries meeting, which we have reported early in the morning also, all the district secretaries have given a resolution stating that the alliance between ADMK and BJP should not go further, and it will affect the party's prospects in 2024 parliamentary election. And now we are seeing this announcement has been made officially. Earlier, though Jai Kumar have announced this, it was considered, even though he said that he maintained that it was the party's decision. There were questions raised to Jai Kumar's remark, but now we are seeing the announcement coming from the ADMK officially. So definitely yes, now we are seeing BJP breaking away from the NDA alliance for the 2024 parliamentary elections. But yes, we have to wait and watch whether the equation changes as the elections near in 2024. But as of now, we are seeing a message has been sent that ADMK is not in alliance with the BJP officially. And as you rightly pointed out, as soon as the announcement was made, we have seen celebrations outside the party office. The cadres were celebrating the decision that was taken by the party high command. And as I said earlier, there were several senior leaders who were not happy with the way Annamalai made remarks against the party leaders. And this also, what the party leaders believe, that this affects the morale of the party cadres. So this should not be allowed, and the party should take a stern view. And they also wanted to snap the ties. And today, after the discussion which went on for more than close to 2 hours, this decision has been made. So the ADMK BJP alliance snap is what we are seeing from the ADMK leaders. But we have to wait and watch how the equations change. Very importantly, this comes after the ADMK leaders meeting National President JP Nadda in Delhi. Very importantly, because ADMK leaders didn't leave to Delhi from Chennai. We saw one batch of ADMK leaders leaving from Kochi to Delhi, and we saw another batch of leaders going from Bangalore to Delhi to meet BJP BJP National President JP Nadda. And after that meeting, now we are seeing that ADMK calling for an emergency or an urgent district secretaries meeting, and this decision has been made. So this is a very clear indication that BJP National High Command is not ready to accept the demands of ADMK, because ADMK was categorically clear that they want Annamalai, that is BJP State President Annamalai, to be changed so they can go ahead with the alliance. And that was one of the demands to the BJP national leadership, is what we are laying. But now it's a very clear indication that the BJP National Command is not ready to sway in to ADMK.
We'll wait and watch out to how the BJP reacts to this. Sorry to interrupt you there, Mugilan. Do stay on with us. Political analyst Suman C. Raman also joining us here on this broadcast. So thank you so much for speaking with us here on CNN News 18. How do you read into this development? Is this going to be advantage DMK, or do you think this is not going to really matter come 2024?
No, certainly it is advantage DMK. There is no doubt about that. But beyond that, this was an expected decision. The AIDMK had been one of the most faithful and loyal allies of the BJP for the last several years, and to the extent that they were ridiculed and they were called a slave party of BJP. That was how the opposition used to characterize them, and how the DMK calls them. Even now, they refer to them as a slave party of BJP. So they've been so loyal. And all they have been asking for is, don't speak ill of our leaders. I mean, I think that any self-respecting party would quit the alliance. That is what the AIDMK has done. Yes, it is going to impact them also. But, rather than stay in an alliance where there is no respect, I think that this is a good decision that the AIDMK has taken.
Mr. Suman Raman, I want to ask you this. Right now we know that the BJP and the AIADMK are no longer alliance partners. But do you think there is room left open by the AIADMK that if they were to change their fortunes from 2019 in 2024, then perhaps they would offer outside support, or perhaps would then look into a post-poll alliance with the BJP?
I don't see the possibility of anything before the election as long as Mr. Annamalai is the state party president of BJP. Look, the AIDMK does not have any problems with the BJP high command. They have a problem with the BJP state president, abusing their leaders. And so they have quit the alliance. Now, as long as that does not change, I can't see the AIDMK going back on this decision and then saying, let Mr. Annamalai continue and we'll get back into an alliance. Initially, they thought that it was happening without the high command's approval. Now, it seems to be that somebody in the high command, we don't know who that is, has approved of Mr. Annamalai saying all these things about the AIDMK and constantly needling them. So therefore, they now feel that it is, some kind of strategy that the BJP high command has adopted, and they have decided to walk out, which I think is a sensible decision.
One last question, Mr. Raman, before I let you go. Mr. Annamalai has been, apart from making the comments that he has made against leaders of the AIADMK, he often in the past has also said how we're ready to go it alone and put that kind of brave face to the front. That perhaps also one of the reasons why the AIADMK did decide to take this decision. Now that the BJP, after several meetings with AIADMK leaders, still decided to keep Mr. Annamalai on, do you think that is something that is going to pay dividends for the BJP, or in your opinion, would that backfire?
I think it will be a big setback for BJP. They will realize it in 2024. Right now, the High Command has probably been fed news that the BJP is a resurgent force and will come to power soon in Tamil Nadu. I think the 2024 election will prove conclusively that without their alliance partner, they will come a cropper. But as you say, even the AIADMK will suffer in 2024 because they too don't have the might to take on a DMK Congress combined. So it's an advantage to the DMK Congress alliance. It's almost a walkover for 24, despite the fact that there is anti-incumbency in the state.
Right, Suman Raman, thank you so much for speaking with us here on CNN News 18. How exactly this plays out in 2024? Is it going to be advantage DMK? That we'll find out sooner than later. But what exactly is going to be the BJP's response on this? All eyes are going to be peeled on that, and we too will keep a lookout for that. But for now, a quick break here on this edition of Nation at 5. Back in just a few minutes.
Brought to you by
Justice's Chief Parivartan Singh Pannoon. A notice has been put out outside his Sector 15C Chandigarh residence and also the agricultural property that he owned near Amritsar. Both these properties will now be confiscated by NIA. Parivartan Singh Pannoon is already being probed by the National Investigation Agency in an FIR of 2020 in which he has been accused of waging war against India. There are various sections of Unlawful Activities Prevention Act against him. There is also an allegation against him that from outside the country he is funding terror, conspiring to carry out terror activities against India. Now, very recently at a Gurudwara in Surrey in Canada, Parivartan Singh Pannoon was videographed calling for balkanization of India. This was not the first time that the Khalistani ideologue was making such a prophecy, making such a statement. He's been repeatedly provoking violence against India, calling for disintegration of India, calling for a separate Khalistani land. The government, the National Investigation Agency, the agencies are very clear that they're not going to, turn a blind eye to these kinds of statements any longer. There are other cases also in which NIA has asked for public to come out and help them cases where in San Francisco the Indian consulate was attacked, cases where the Indian High Commission in London was attacked. Public notices have been put up with pictures from videographs of CCTV footage whereby NIA has asked public to come out and give them information about who these people were. If they had properties in Punjab, if they had properties in Haryana or other parts of the country, Indian agencies would act to confiscate them. So they are walking the talk after taking the nod of the Mohali court. The action is being taken against Gurpatwant Singh Pannoon. Already these properties were attached, which means that he could not sell them or utilize the proceeds from these properties. Now they are being confiscated by the government. There have been notices put up outside his Chandigarh Sector 15C residence and also the land, the agricultural land outside Amritsar, on the outskirts of Amritsar that he owns. Now Canadian establishment has not really cooperated with India. That's the charge that India has made. As far as these Khalistani elements are concerned, we know the diplomatic row that is ongoing between India and Canada on Hardeep Singh Nijjar's issue, where Canada has accused India of having a role to play or having a hand in his killing. So India has decided to take matters in its own hands now. It is no longer depending on Canadian authorities to act against these Khalistani elements based in Canada. They have decided to hit where it hurts the most. If you do not allow these originally Punjabis who have now migrated and taken up Canadian citizenship but still have family, friend, property here in India, Indian government has decided to act as far as those properties are concerned to make them pay financially for the kind of diatribe against India that they are pouring out. We'll have to wait and see how Pannoon reacts to this. Like I said, he's been constantly speaking out on social media platforms against India. And now that Indian agency, National Investigation Agency, has decided to take this action against him, denying him his ancestral land in Amritsar, denying him his house in Chandigarh. This is a clear message from India that you cannot speak against India, wage war against India, try to destabilize India or carry out terror conspiracy in India and believe that your life will not be affected. So very strong message coming in from Indian government via this action by the NIA. National Investigation Agency, in yet another blow to the Khalistani ecosystem outside of the country, has decided to confiscate the properties belonging to Seek for Justice's chief Gurpatwant Singh Pannoon. A notice has been put out outside his Sector 15C Chandigarh residence and also the agricultural property that he owned near Amritsar. Both these properties will now be confiscated by NIA. Gurpatwant Singh Pannoon is already being probed by the National Investigation Agency in an FIR of 2020 in which he has been accused of waging war against India. There are various sections of Unlawful Activities Prevention Act against him. There is also an allegation against him that from outside the country he is funding terror, conspiring to carry out terror activities against India. Now very recently at a Gurudwara in Surrey in Canada, Gurpatwant Singh Pannoon was videographed calling for balkanization of India. This was not the first time that the Khalistani ideologue was making such a prophecy, making such a statement. He's been repeatedly provoking violence against India, calling for disintegration of India, calling for a separate Khalistani land. The government, the National Investigation Agency, the agencies are very clear that they're not going to turn a blind eye to these kinds of statements any longer. There are other cases also in which NIA has asked for public to come out and help them. Cases where in San Francisco the Indian consulate was attacked, cases where the Indian High Commission in London was attacked. Public notices have been put up with pictures from videographs of CCTV footage whereby NIA has asked public to come out and give them information about who these people were. If they had properties in Punjab, if they had properties in Haryana or other parts of the country, Indian agencies would act to confiscate them. So they are walking the talk after taking the nod of the Mohali court. The action is being taken against Gurpatwant Singh Pannoon. Already these properties were attached, which means that he could not sell them or utilize the proceeds from these properties. Now they are being confiscated by the government. There have been notices put up outside his Chandigarh Sector 15C residence and also the land, the agricultural land outside Amritsar, on the outskirts of Amritsar that he owns. Now Canadian establishment has not really cooperated with India. That's the charge that India has made. As far as these Khalistani elements are concerned, we know the diplomatic row that is ongoing between India and Canada on Hardeep Singh Nijjar's issue, where Canada has accused India of having a role to play or having a hand in his killing. So India has decided to take matters in its own hands now. It is no longer depending on Canadian authorities to act against these Khalistani elements based in Canada. They've decided to hit where it hurts the most. If you do not allow these originally Punjabis who have now migrated and taken up Canadian citizenship but still have family, friend, property here in India, Indian government has decided to act as far as those properties are concerned, to make them pay financially for the kind of diatribe against India that they are pouring out. We'll have to wait and see how Panoon reacts to this. Like I said, he's been constantly speaking out on social media platforms against India. And now that Indian agency, National Investigation Agency, has decided to take this action against him, denying him his ancestral land in Amritsar, denying him his house in Chandigarh. This is a clear message from India that you cannot speak against India, wage war against India, try to destabilize India or carry out terror conspiracy in India and believe that your life will not be affected. So very strong message coming in from Indian government via this action by the NIA.
Justin Trudeau government is yet another under attack from the opposition members in Canada because he has hosted a very senior Nazi soldier in the House of Commons. The report says that video and photo shows that Justin Trudeau government was trying to...
Welcome back. You're watching Nation at 5 with me, Poonam Burde. We have some breaking news that's now coming in from the opposition bloc. This is the India Alliance. They are in talks as far as seat sharing goes, and we now have more information that is trickling in on that seat sharing pact. We're now given to understand that it's not just for the Lok Sabha elections, but this seat sharing formula that is being charted between the 26 alliance partners is also going to hold true for the upcoming state elections. Remember, 5 states go to polls later this year in just the next 3 months, and India Alliance sources within them are now telling us that party units in each states will be looking into their constituencies and if there is a seat sharing pact possible with the other alliance members. Sharon, my colleague, now joining us, getting us more details on this. Now, Sharon, it's interesting because it was really at the state level where a lot of these parties were in disagreement. So if they can actually manage to come out on a seat sharing pact within the state unit, that would be an interesting consensus building exercise and an exercise for 2024.
Absolutely, and that is what the coordination committee of the India Alliance has also decided, that when it comes to the seat sharing, when it comes to the alliances in each state, that is to be decided by each of the state party units. Because they know the ground reality, they know which constituency, if they go for a seat alliance, will prove more beneficial. Now, what the sources within the left, specifically from the CPI, is telling us is that they are ready to have a seat alliance with the Congress party in the upcoming state assembly elections that comprises of MP, Chhattisgarh, Telangana, Rajasthan. Now, except for Mizoram, they have been saying that because they don't have much party cadre in Mizoram, they are willing to go for a seat-sharing alliance with the Congress party. In fact, the sources have also been suggesting they have already spoken to Mallikarjun Kharge. They have also spoken to KC Venugopal, saying that they should be more accommodative and should include more such parties from the India Alliance when it comes to the state assembly elections. Now, the left party has been saying that when it comes to MP and Chhattisgarh, in the tribal belt, the left party has a strong party cadre. Apart from that, they have presence in Telangana and Rajasthan, and hence a seat alliance is very much possible. Now, also there are talks of Samajwadi Party talking to Kamal Nath, the former chief minister, also now right now the someone who's looking into Madhya Pradesh elections altogether. He is also, in fact, the Samajwadi Party leaders are in talks with Kamal Nath and has been saying that in the Bundelkhand belt there should be a seat sharing because UP, because of their strong presence in Uttar Pradesh, it could prove beneficial in Madhya Pradesh. Now, one of the most interesting things that these sources have been telling us is that at this point, it is very unlikely that the left will have an alliance with the TNC in West Bengal and the left will have an alliance with the Congress party in Kerala. So this seems to be a claim that is coming in from the sources within the India Alliance, that Kerala and West Bengal seems to be a far dream as far as the seat alliance and
Absolutely, and
sharing
this
our
task is definitely going to be easier said than done if they can actually manage to build consensus, not just for the Lok Sabha elections, but for assembly elections as well. For the moment, though, Sharon, thank you so much for getting us the latest on that. But that's a wrap from my side here on this edition of Nation at 5. Anusha joins you next.
Good evening, hello and welcome. You're watching Viewpoint. I'm Anusha Soni. The diplomatic ties between India and Canada are at an all-time low. It only seems to get worse with time. It all started after Justin Trudeau on the 18th of September made an explosive allegation on the potential involvement of Indian agents in the killing of Khalistani extremist Hardeep Singh Nijjar, a Canadian citizen. That was